Welcome to Arizona, the Grand Canyon Gate number 3, entering the Grand Canyon National Park.
How do you feel about the big news we have coming up, Cal?
Big news is, I don't know. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about it later. For now, we're gonna enjoy the Grand Canyon.
It is the Grand Canyon. This is our first view of the Grand Canyon ever. It is huge. It is unbelievable. Oh my God. It drops down. It drops. Wow. They don't have fences. I'm a little surprised because we are in the United States of America. Person, if you fell from here, it'd hurt.
Yes. We also have some news we're going to be sharing with you later, so stay tuned for that.
Walk up is going to be a trip.
It is. Wow, it's crazy what the sun does to the heat.
So many people have leaned on this tree that it's just, you know, lost the bark right there, but it's just ready to be leaned on perfectly. Put your forearm right here, like this, and you just lean over and look out.
Are you glad we made it to the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, this is really stunning. If you haven't been here, make a beeline for the Grand Canyon, everybody. It might be hard to hear when you're in, but it's true. This is great. Very exciting. Really, really eye-opening.
We begin the ascent.
And find out how out of shape we are. We're making it to the top. We're still alive. We can breathe.
Slow and steady pace.
Back at the Argosy.
Feels like we just went to another planet.
Yeah, or another country far, far away. It is a beige meal.
Angel hair, olive oil, salt, nutritional yeast. Wow, it's pretty good. Then there's this beauty. That is not our leak, by the way. Kinky? What are you doing up there? What are you doing? That's where you want to groom.
$67 for 25 gallons of gasoline, and the price was $2.66. This is a Circle K. I was a Circle K Inner Circle member, and I saved 25 cents. Plus, the fuel price started already at like $2.90. So we're here in Texas, and the fuel price is a lot better than California and Mexico. We are at the Jack Sisemore RV Museum in Amarillo, Texas. I'm very excited. We're going to have vintage RVs.
Hall of Fame and museum.
I hope there's some motorhomes. What a wonderful sign. Neon. I should get into neon.
I agree.
It's the RV Museum in Amarillo, Texas. This is the first Airstream that was ever made in 1935. It's the world's oldest Airstream, a torpedo. Yeah. And the inside of it is all wood and looks really cool. Here's an Argosy. It's a travel trailer Argosy. It has the same back panel that mine does. And you can go in. The Spirit of 76. Wow, I've got a 76.
It has the same.
It's the same.
Look at this.
It's got the same ones, except they work better.
Oh my god, it's the same. It just it like smells wild? So more vintage in here, and obviously looks vintage.
Well, nobody's using it so much, but it's got the same kind of sink. Got that double sink, and
it's got the same magic chef.
Got the same magic chef. I mean, it's basically.
Oh my god! It just proves how
it's the trailer version.
Right.
I mean.
Oh my god! It's got
same latches on the door.
Oh my gosh! Kind of like. Sometimes we want things that are difficult, you know, like to live in a vintage RV or to live on a sailboat. And when it's happening, it can feel overwhelming at certain times. Or like certain needs aren't being met, you know. But then when you go into like a vintage RV museum and you're just like, wow, like the dream overtakes you. And so it's like all these bad things that happened or all of the difficulties, you know, like of actually living in an RV. You're just kind of like, I don't care about that because the dream is bigger than all of those things.
So true.
I'm like on the verge of tears. Maybe because I just cut an onion too. Sleeping. Look at all this hair. Okay, that's good enough.
We've been thinking about the big reveal from later on in the video, and planning to make an exact statement. Very important. Oh, you must stay tuned. This big reveal. Big decision.
Big news is I'm going back to Athens to live in my camper in the driveway and work a job for the next 7 to 8 months so I can pay off my debts.
There's, on my end, there's family to see in Athens this summer, and so that's part of it.
That's a pretty big part of it.
We're getting towards the end of our trip here, and we are at a Bass Pro shop, Bass Pro, in
Leeds, Alabama.
Leeds, Alabama, near Birmingham. And probably this is going to be the last night of camping overnight before we roll into Athens, Georgia.
That's true.
So we have a chart to fill out and review, and also there's Planet Fitness to consider. Regarding the happiness column, there's a number, well, notice that there's not a lot of checkerboards on the happiness column. That I attribute to the fact that we are driving a motorhome, and we have been on the trip for a long time, And so we're kind of heading back, and we're trying to get there somewhat rapidly because of the weather. And this is a motorhome that becomes very uncomfortable if it's in the 80s or higher degrees Fahrenheit. So the thing about motorhome living is that driving it is not that fun. It's noisy, it's rattly, the highways are not necessarily beautiful. They are beautiful in California, but they're not that beautiful necessarily. And there's a lot of vehicles on the road and large trucks, and so, and you have to sit in your chair. So it's not a ton of fun. It can be more fun if you're listening to music, but that's a definite limitation of this style of traveling. The good thing about it is that you can get places reasonably quickly, and another good thing is that we're only driving about 4 hours a day, which is a lot better than when we used to truck drive, which would be more like 12 hours a day, give or take.
My lovely girl. Stability doesn't exist in my life. It does in relationships, some, but that's about it. And I personally feel like I can plan about 4 months at a time. There's no retirement planning. There's no 20-year plan, there's no 10, there's no 5, there's no 4, there's no 3, there's no 2. There's no 1-year planning with me. I can barely do 6 months. It's like a semester at a time. It's like a season. So that's 3 months? Yeah. I can plan a season at a time. The thing is, Cal has very big dreams. And I keep having reactions to the heat, to the humidity, to the lack of showers. Reactions that I can't technically help. It's like I've become this person who acquires sickness. Please, buy a 2020 camper that has a shower and like air conditioning, and then we have to go to campgrounds all the time and like pay for the campgrounds and have air conditioning and shower, blah, blah, blah. It's like I don't even want that. I love the Argosy. I love Mexico. But it's like I keep having negative body reactions. And I also keep having stress induced by the fact that the plans change. Like at one point we're like, we're just never gonna go back to Georgia. And now it's like, okay, we're going back tomorrow. It's like, that's kind of a lot for my brain to handle. Like I get attached to the ideas. And they don't happen, and I'm like, well, like that part of me never left. Like that person who had that idea is still there. And then it's like, well, the ultimate reality is I have debt. I'm not just going to be like, oh, whatever, just overdraft my bank account and whatever, numbers are just illusion anyway. No, like, I can't really sustain that thought. So I'm going to have to work. And that's fine. That's my lot in life, Came from coal miners, don't have wealthy parents. My parents, massive debt. So I'm just like this person that's barely surviving. And then you put me in this unstable situation where physical needs are hard to meet, and it's just like, there's barely any relaxing. The times I felt most relaxed were basically when I was swimming with dolphins and petting whales. Like, that is when it's like, everything is worth it. And it's like, okay, so 2 days out of 30 times 3.5. Even like, okay, so I like went in the water with dolphins. Okay, well now I want to like rinse off, you know, and how are we going to do that? And we would manage to figure that out standing outside the motorhome naked at a campground with the faucet pouring on me, but then we're using the water and then we have to leave sooner because the water's gone. And it's just like, it is so much to think about. It is so much to put on my shoulders. It's like juggling 50 different juggling pins and then adding more randomly. And then sometimes, you know, sometimes you get relief. Like we got back to the United States, got Planet Fitness, and that was a relief. But even so, it's like just driving in the heat. Okay, now I'm a hot person, so I'm like spraying my body down with water, trying to make the best of it. But then it's like I have these heat reactions. It's like, wow, do I really need to be coddled? You know, and just like what, live in a normal house on bedrock with the air conditioning and like go to my little, you know, self-help things and like basically like baby myself? Like what is happening? Like I need to grow like now. So I don't know, man. I don't know how much will to power, how much will to being a different person, because the body doesn't lie. The body keeps a score. You know, heat reactions are heat reactions. The motorhome is 15 degrees hotter at any given point. Does that make me a bad person? Does that make me a weak person? Should I just try harder? Should I just grin and bear it harder? I don't know, because it's like I'm going to go insane, I think. What's the alternative, you know? Like just living this normal life? Well, maybe there's a half point between adventure and comfort.
There's a huge parking lot here at Bass Pro. It's just huge. It has many terraces and trees. So many trees. It's just great. It's just a great parking lot. Welcome to Georgia. We're glad Georgia's on your mind.
Can't forget the glamour. Your eyes held a tender light. Then stars fell on Alabama last night.